General Mills celebrating its 150th anniversary. Ken Powell, Chairman and CEO, among the executives ringing the opening bell and joining me on the floor. Nice to see you and congrats.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here.
You've got a lot to celebrate actually. Your stock's come back. You've set some ambitious goals for 2017, which you're sharing with your investors today. Cereal, it's made a comeback for you.
Absolutely, and we're consumer first. We focused, we listened. Consumers told us, hey, there's some things we don't want. How about we don't like gluten? And so we got that out. By the way, we don't like artificial things, colors, flavors, sweeteners. That's all out. And lo and behold, and we've told consumers about that, and we've seen that business change course rather dramatically over the last 6 months. So we're very excited by the momentum that we have in our cereal business, which is, of course, the largest business that we have at General Mills and very important to us.
You're focusing on a couple of key products. Some of the others, not so much of an extreme focus. Before we get to some of those specifics, I want to ask you about yogurt, because that's been an area that's struggling, which kind of confuses me a little bit.
Yeah. Well, so we have a global yogurt business. Yoplait is the second largest brand globally around the world. Good year in Europe, good year in Canada. Our U.S. business, was not as good, so we're not happy with our business in the U.S. last year. And I think it really has to do with the mix of products that we have. We're concentrated in sort of the traditional segments of the market, and so we're going to be refreshing and renovating those brands. Very much along taking the same approach that we used in cereal. We're also going to be deepening our exposure in some other important segments of the market. So, for instance, organic yogurt's growing very rapidly now. So we've launched Annie's. We're going to be expanding that significantly to tubes and tubs. Very big segment for us. Kid yogurt's very important. We'll be reformulating a number of our kid yogurts, introducing a product called Go Big, which is a tween-targeted product. It's a grip and rip, 4-ounce serving of yogurt. We think that will be very successful, launching in both traditional retail and schools at the same time. So lots of activity to expand, the range of yogurts that we have and compete more effectively in more segments through innovation, renovation. We think that'll get that business back on track.
Ken, do you think this trend toward natural, no artificial flavors, colors, and organic, is that a long-lasting sea change trend, or is that a fad that 5 years from now we're going to be talking about something else?
I think that is a very fundamental trend. We've seen it emerge over the last really decade. Consumers want real, as they say, real food, simple food. We want to understand the ingredient list. We've seen it actually gain increasing momentum, and we're listening very carefully to that. And lo and behold, when we respond, appropriately to what consumers are telling us, they really do reward us with increased purchases. So it's very real. I think it's very fundamental. I'll give you another example. We'll be talking this morning in our later meeting about our Progresso soups, which we'll be launching this summer. All of the chicken will be antibiotic free, and that would cover about a half of the range of that product. Consumers have been very clear with us; they don't want antibiotics, and so we think that's another one where it gets to this real and simplicity, and that will be a very important initiative on that brand. So we see that as very fundamental. We're very focused on it, listening very carefully.
There's been a lot of disruption in your industry. You have been named once as a takeover target, potentially for 3G. You were also named potentially as being interested in White Wave. Where are you in terms of mergers and acquisitions? Is it important for you to stay independent? Do you see yourself making perhaps bolt-on acquisitions going forward?
So, we're very focused on value creation, in our, using our current segments and platforms, very focused on innovation, high quality, innovation-driven growth. As you know, very highly focused on margin expansion, and we've recently upped those targets, and returning cash to shareholders. So we're very focused, on organic growth right now, high quality growth, and we're being rewarded for that, I think, by investors right now as we see our share price continuing to move up. We think that's the best path to value creation for us now. We do, evaluate and consider, all kinds of M&A opportunities. I would say what you're most likely to see from us over the next few years would be along the lines of what we've done the last 5, bolt-on acquisitions in the area of snacks, organic, outside of the U.S., expanding scale along the lines of what we did in Brazil with Yoki, more distribution, or Carolina yogurt in Brazil, or the Yoplait international business. So kind of bolt-on acquisitions that extend our reach in our current categories. That would be our approach now. We think that's the clearest way for us to create value.
Ken Powell, thanks so much for your time.